the number 5 Montana game of all time. Chicken soup, anyone?
Sure, the chicken soup game's got to be on the list because it's where it all began.
Throughout his career, Joe Montana has been the come-from-behind quarterback for Notre Dame.
The whole country didn't know really about the legend of Joe Montana. They knew that this guy had sort of come in and made things happen and sort of looked like Barry Manilow to some people.
People go, the legend began with the catch. Dwight Clark. Are you kidding me? The legend began on the frozen tundra of Dallas, Texas.
Montana's rolling and looking and keeping, and Montana lowered the shoulder and got in for the touchdown.
We do have ice storms in Dallas, and that may have been the worst ice storm that we've had here in the last 30 or 40 years.
I was behind the Notre Dame bench a moment ago, talked to Joe Montana. He says he has never been this cold during a football game in his life.
I challenge him to watch the clips of that game and not go, ooh, cold. Even if you're in Miami or Palm Beach watching Scottsdale, you put that on the DVD and you're watching, you got to go, ooh.
Montana's 23-point fourth quarter comeback outside in those frigid conditions was impressive. But the reason this game made our list has more to do with the temperature inside Joe's body.
Early in the game, I would come off the field and I'd run right to the heater and go back into the field, right to the heater. I ended up getting my temperature down to like 96. They kept me in the locker room, and they had chicken soup there to keep everybody warm at halftime, so they just kept feeding it to me to get my temperature back up.
Joe Montana did not come out for the second half. The team physician just told me he has the chills. His body temperature is below normal. They're giving him warm fluids, and he may be back before the end of the game. He said it's kind of like the start of the flu.
Nobody thought he was going to play when they heard how sick he was. And Houston went out on him, dominating the Irish. And everybody thought they were dead and buried, except Joe Montana.
Now, the story about the chicken soup and how cold it was and everything else wasn't half as good as just sitting there watching the game in person.
Montana has sparked the surge of Notre Dame here in the closing moments.
A 23-point comeback in the final 8 minutes, that alone, that's astonishing. That he did it while he was sick, that's legendary. And that's a lot like the Jordan 1997 Game 5 against the Jazz, where he had the flu and dominated in the finals.
It's all come down to this. 2 seconds left to play. Houston 34, Notre Dame 28. Montana going, and it's a touchdown.
And Montana has done it again. Notre Dame completely dead, came back in the fourth quarter to win it by 1.
The image of him in college with the chicken soup and the coat on him becomes like part of the lore, kind of like Greek mythology. They do some heroic feat that lets people know that they're on the way. That would be Montana's chicken soup game. The young myth gets built.